am so excited to introduce you to Joy, our flute of the month for September 2017. This flute is made out of cocobolo. It obviously has a hummingbird on it. It has ebony mouthpiece and end cap, a little bit of abalone for rings, and then we have macer birch, which is this blonde wood with figure in it, and 8 trumpets for trumpet flowers made out of sodalite, and then again abalone. On each side of the flute we have a feather that's inlaid out of abalone and sodalite. Have a feather here, and then we have another hummingbird down here that is eating out of a trumpet flower. The trumpet flower, the hummingbird of course is abalone, the trumpet flower is sodalite, and then the green part of the trumpet flower is malachite. And I gotta tell you, this flute has been a blast to make. It has been so fun. We've been doing a lot of changes around here at Wood Sounds, as you'll read about in the newsletter. And during all of those changes, I've been working with my new guys in the shop, and they all had input in what we were doing and how we created this instrument. And it has been so wonderful to have their help as I dreamed a flute into existence. The feathers are really fun because there's actually 3 little hummingbirds in each feather. You have a hummingbird here, here, and here. They all have little teeny eyes. They're, it's small, so it's hard to see it exactly, but once you realize they're there, it's hard not to see them. So there's 6 hummingbirds in the feathers. You have the hummingbird here, you have our hummingbird totem, and you've got that makes 8, and we've got a total of 8 flowers around each end of the flute. Now the hummingbird itself is made out of sodalite with a beak of African blackwood, and the abalone on the wings and on the tail in Northwest Coast style. And I'm just totally in love with this flute. Oh man, the first time I carved this hummingbird and I held it in my hand, it immediately took me back in my mind to when my neighbor Hal had a little hummingbird that had hit one of his windows, and he brought it over to show me. He was nursing it back to health, and we just held it, and you couldn't even feel it. I mean, I think a quarter probably weighed more than that hummingbird did. And it's just incredible that little teeny thing has so many little feathers and has the ability to fly and to eat and to have all sorts of fun characteristics in how they interact with each other, and how they interact with people. It was just amazing. It's absolutely amazing to me that inside that little teeny head is a brain that's capable of all of those things that it does. And as I was looking for a name for this flute of the month, I thought of it. The actual working name was Midnight Hummingbird because of the dark blue, purple sodalite. It was Midnight Hummingbird was our working name, and but I just didn't feel like it really spoke to what I feel when I see a hummingbird. And hummingbirds just always have been special. Like many of you, when I was a kid, my mom would put out the hummingbird feeders, and the hummingbirds came in like magic. She put out feeders, and all of a sudden, the next thing you knew, we had hummingbirds coming in. And we would watch them for hours as these hummingbirds would come in and eat the food and then fly away. And for the rest of her life, my mother had hummingbird feeders out and brought the hummingbirds in. It's just been a part of her life and our life, and whatnot. And so for me, every time I see him, there's a real sense of security, a sense of home, a sense of peace, a sense of really of joy. And so the name Joy is what I believe many people feel when they feel a hummingbird, and also a sense of blessings. When you actually get to hold one in your hands, or if you are able to get the hummingbirds to land on your hands, like a friend of mine used to do. As they were feeding, they would land on his hand and they would eat off of, they would use his hand as a rest to eat out of the feeder. And every time he would talk about it, you look in his eyes as he's talking about it, and you can tell that he just had this incredible experience that filled him with peace and happiness and joy. And so that's what we're hoping that that joy will bring to you as you add joy to your Flute of the Month collections. And I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. This particular flute is in the key of G. There are limitations on higher flutes. As we go higher, doing the inlays will become harder and harder to do, and so we're only going to make hummingbird flutes. This particular flute in as high as a mid B. Any higher than that, and the inlay work is going to get too small to hold together well. And so, but we can go as deep as you want to go with the Flute Joy, and so the chart with prices is below this video. If you take a look just below this video, you'll see all of the pricing. And just as with other flutes of the month, there'll be a promo pricing on this flute that will be a 20% discount, and that promo pricing will be active until the October Flute of the Month is released. Again, I'm Brent Haynes with Wood Sound Flutes. You can always reach me at 801-822-1415 or BRENT@woodsounds.com. I hope you're having a wonderful autumn.